Hey Void, how you doing? So, pulled up a movie on streaming today, and it's been one I saw years ago, but thought it was worth another look because, well, I love anthologies. And this is an anthology. So, the ABCs of Death. Very interesting concept here. Essentially, it's 26 directors making 26 short films ranging from 30 seconds to 4 minutes, all revolving around the concept of death. So, it's 26 horror shorts. So, it's a lot of varied quality and very random. So, it released in 2012 with a sequel following a year or two later. And while the premise is interesting, the execution is woof, up and down. Very up and down, but I think that's kind of to be expected here. So some of the things become a bit of a stretch to get the cost set the cost. Like B is for Bigfoot was varied, but some of them are definitely right on the money. Like W for WTF. It doesn't take itself too seriously and has a lot of fun with its premise, which does make it interesting. And even the shorts that don't work nearly as well, they don't last very long, so it's hard to get mad at them. But some of them just get really strange. Like F for Fart, for example. That one's done by a Japanese director, and it is very, well, gross and juvenile. But that's kind of how this thing goes, because they've only got 30 seconds to 4 minutes to get a concept across. They usually throw everything possible at it, which means going for a bit of extreme to, well, get it across. Varying from, well, over the top gore, over the top nudity, disgustingness. Like I mentioned, the fart one. There's also one that revolves around shit, and another that's full on claymation toilet attacking people. And at least 2 instances of pedophilia. So, it goes for the cheap shots often, but I can say some of them are effective. Also, there's quite a bit of variety in terms of a lot of things. There's a lot in terms of foreign directors. There's several of those things are in Spanish, at least one German. There's one or two Japanese. One I think is from the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. There is a lot of spoken languages in this film. French, Korean, they go all over. And also the mediums they use. Most of them are standard short film, but there's one and a half that are animated. Yes, half. Another claymation. They and one that's weird Nazi furry costumes. This movie's weird, first and foremost, but it's hypnotic in its weirdness. Well, I will say a lot of them do get a little, despite the very process, most of them are pretty standard, just people finding ways to kill each other strangely. It doesn't go too much into the fantasy or sci-fi realms too often. It's usually people being people, rather than monsters or aliens. Which I think could have actually benefited this one to give it just a bit more, it's weird to say variety for something when there's 26 shorts going at it. But there you are. But overall, despite the movie being spastic, I will say it definitely held my attention for its entire runtime, which is listed at 2 hours and 9 minutes, but a good 10 minutes of that is ending credits because each short does have to have its own credit run. But pretty much the film itself, there's no overarching plot or real connection between the shorts themselves. It's pretty much short comes up, and then at the very end, it'll say A is for Apocalypse before moving on to the next one. Which, it was kind of fun to try to guess what the letter was going to be at the end. I mean, they do go in order, but what the letter meant, like G, I didn't assume. Like, it was a guy going on a surfboard with some rocks, essentially committing suicide. Okay. G is for gravity. Okay. Some of them are ridiculous, but they do have fun with it. I do give this one a recommendation, but you have to be in the right mood for it. And the perfect mood for this is a party, particularly a Halloween party, with a lot of alcohol, just so you can kick back and, or it'll work right on in the background for it. It's a party movie. It's really better for a group just to have fun with. It's not scary by any means. It is over the top. It is disgusting at times, either content-wise or just grossness, and it is extreme. But it's not. It's meant to shock, not frighten. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I think I got for this one. The ABCs of Death. I I give it a recommendation. 5 MacGuffins. We'll just say 5 MacGuffins. Uh, yeah, I think we'll go with that. I think that's all I got on this one. I pulled this one off of Tubi TV since I don't own a copy of it. It's uh usually easily to find on streaming. I think I'd seen it previously on Netflix. I don't know if it's there now or not, but it's usually not hard to find. All right, that's all I got on this one. 5 out of 10 MacGuffins. It's right up the middle. Have a good day, everybody.